Drink from it, all of you, for this is my blood of the covenant, which will be shed on behalf of many for the forgiveness of sins. I tell you, from now on I shall not drink this fruit of the vine, until the day when I drink it with you new in the kingdom of my Father.
Pray again.
My Father, if it is not possible that this cup pass without my drinking, your will be done.
Then he returned once more and struck the high priest's servant, cutting off his ear. Then Jesus said to him,
Put your sword back in your sheath. For all who take the sword will perish by the sword. Do you think that I cannot call upon my Father, and he will not provide me at this moment more than 12 legions of angels? But then how would the scriptures be fulfilled, which say that it must come to pass this way?
At that hour Jesus said to the crowds, was breaking out instead, he took water and washed his hands in the sight of the crowd, saying,
I am innocent of this man's blood. Look to it yourselves.
And the whole people said in reply,
His blood be upon us and upon our children.
Before him they mocked him, saying,
Hail, King of the Jews.
They spat upon him and took the reed and kept striking him. Some of the bystanders who heard it said,
This one is calling for Elijah.
Immediately one of them ran to get a sponge. He soaked it in wine, and putting it on a reed, gave it to him to drink. But the rest said,
Wait, let us see if Elijah comes to save him.
But Jesus cried out again in a loud voice and gave up his spirit. And they said,
Truly, this was the Son of God.
There were many women there looking on from a distance who had followed Jesus from Galilee, ministering to him. Among them were Mary Magdalene, and Mary the mother of James and Joseph, and the mother of the sons of Zebedee. So they went and secured the tomb by fixing a seal to the stone and setting it off. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus.
Reflections is the meaning of the word Hosanna. It simply is a Hebrew phrase that means help us. And that describes our stance before God. All of us here, regardless of the goodness of our lives or our great sinfulness, stand before God together as equals, saying, Hosanna, disciples of Jesus. We have to understand that we need to be saved. And we say Jesus is our Savior. Well, that implies there's something in our life that needs to be rescued, that we have to be rescued from something. And I think if we examine our hearts and our lives honestly, what we need to be rescued from is ourselves. We're born beautiful, die of cancer or other diseases. Why is it that you and I work so hard sometimes to be good and tragedy comes into our lives? How do we explain this? Well, as a matter of fact, we don't know how to explain it. You know, God does not give us an answer to the problem of evil. And God often doesn't take evil away from our lives. But what the Passion of Jesus Christ teaches us, what Jesus' death on the cross teaches us, is that in the disasters that we sometimes face in our life, in the difficulties that we have, in the tragedies we experience as individuals or as families, or as a nation, as a world, in all of that, God stands with us. He gave us His only begotten Son, who experienced disaster and pain and suffering. We heard that described very vividly in today's gospel passage, with things He begins in us at the beginning of this week.